Hey folks, let's learn something new about the oil and gas industry. Sales in oil and gas has changed. We get paid to speak about this all over the world, right? To big organizations, small organizations, sales organizations, business development groups, marketing. The world of sales in oil and gas has changed. There's a bunch of things going on, colliding all at the same time. But if you don't understand what's changing in this world, you're gonna get left behind. So let's go through it real quick and see if we can give you a bit of help. Number one, we have new, younger buyers. Right now in the oil and gas industry here and in Europe, this is the second youngest group of workers in the world. It's hard to believe, but all the old guys like me got laid off, left, took packages, retired. We have this new, younger buyers coming in, and they think and they buy differently. They don't think and buy like the way my generation did, or maybe the way your generation did. They want to make informed decisions. They do their research up front. By the time they reach out to you through your website or your salesperson or whatever, they've 70 to 80% of the journey of figuring out what they want to buy, they've already done. And if you don't understand that, if you don't understand that you need to get in front of these new, younger buyers, you're going to suffer. Now, the flip side is, if you have a good product and a good service, and you can articulate that well, both in person and online, they're actually much easier to sell to. Then the next thing has changed. Sales is no longer linear. 20 some odd years ago when I got involved in this, sales were linear, right? You started here, you had prospects, right? You then qualify the prospects, then you would propose a deal, and then you would close the deal. It was a straight line. It's not like that anymore. Sales is like this. You have people come in at the very end of your sales funnel that know what they want to buy, they know what you have, they know what your competitors have, they know what your price points are, they're just ready to close the deal. And then you have other people that don't even know they have a problem that you can help them fix. So you have all these different drivers that are now non-linear in sales. I actually like it better, but it's different. Next, faster sales cycles. Now I know you can laugh at me and go, hey Mark, in oil and gas there is no such thing as a fast sales cycle. That's true. This industry is risk adverse, so it takes longer to sell in this industry than any other industry I know. But those sales cycles are shortening, and they're shortening because the buyers now have access to all the information they need before they even talk to your salesperson. That's actually a good thing. But if you don't understand that, if you don't understand that the sales cycles are speeding up, once again, you get left behind. Then, account-based sales. This is kind of the new buzzword in marketing, account-based marketing, where you target your prospects based upon the company they work for, the industry they're in, the sub-segment, their job title, their roles and responsibility. That's been around sales forever. The thing that's changing though in sales is that it used to be when you were, let's say you're an oilfield service company, and you think about selling to your accounts, those tend to be the majors, the super majors, the operators, right? Now you got to look at each one differently. If you're selling to ExxonMobil and you're talking to ExxonMobil E&P, the way you sell to that group is going to be different than the way you sell to ExxonMobil Pipeline, which is going to be different than the way you sell to ExxonMobil Sea River Marine. Didn't know that, did you? Didn't know Sea River Marine is part of ExxonMobil. There you go. It's a perfect example. So account-based sales is what you need to do. Then, BANT is toast. If you've been in sales for any length of time, you've been taught that one of the ways you qualify a prospective deal is their BANT, B-A-N-T, budget, authority, need, and time. That's out the window. Quit using that to qualify your prospects. First thing, budget. Nowadays, anybody can find budget. If you can help them fix $1 million problem for 100 grand, they can find that 100 grand. Authority, there's no decision maker anymore. Now it's decision-making team, so you can't find that one person, right? Prospects don't even know they need you, and you got to inform them that. And then time is all over the place. So throw BANT out. BANT is not the way to qualify a prospect. What we teach people when we go to speak is when you want to qualify a prospect, see if they have a need for what you do, see if they can articulate how you can help them solve the problem, and then see if it makes a good ROI business decision. That's how you qualify leads now. Then, conferences and expos have declining value. People push back on me all the time about this, and trust me, I love conferences and expos. We go to a lot of them ourselves. We go to a lot of this press, so I could kind of see behind the curtain. But you know, 20 years ago, when you were in sales and oil and gas, you could go to a conference. Well, I used to do this myself. I would go to things like OTC. I'd spend 80 grand of my company's money. But the reason it worked is that the decision makers, which used to exist back then from ExxonMobil, so say some senior engineer, would go to OTC because it was the only place where he could go and talk to all the valve manufacturers at one time. Why? There was no internet. So it was worth his time going there. I would run into him, I'd do my fishbowl thing, whatever, and I'd make my company's 80 grand back plus 4 or 5 times more because people were there actually learning and wanting to buy. Years ago, OTC, the majors used to come with POs in their hands and millions of dollars of deals were done on that floor. That doesn't exist anymore. The conferences and expos still have value, but the value gets less and less every year from a sales point of view. Now here's one where people will push back on me. But sales and oil and gas, the relationship is now number 2, not number 1. I know years ago, and I did a lot of this myself, You sold based upon the relationships you built over time in the oil and gas industry. Well, now since there's no decision maker and it's decision-making teams, and now that you have these new younger buyers that are coming in, they don't care about that. So going out there with your buddies on the golf course or the shooting range or taking them out for dinner and drinks used to pay off royally 20 years ago. It doesn't pay off that much anymore, and it's slowly disappearing. And I actually think it's an awesome thing. Now, with all that said, if you have the right relationships, if you have a high trust reputation in the industry, it does speed up your sales cycle because you can get in front of the right people quicker because people trust you. So it's not dead, it's just now it's number two, not number one. And you may ask, what's number one, Mark? Number one is your ability to solve a problem. Quite simple. Now, then, sales have changed in oil and gas for another reason. You must understand how to use technology. And I mean all technology. I'm talking about how to properly use your CRM, not so it benefits your upper management for some bogus report because you put in whatever you want them to think, but actually how to use it to help you in your sales process. You have to understand how to use social media. You have to understand things like texting, right? You can actually have a pretty good outbound campaign if you have a trusted list of numbers that you can text, right? Because people read it immediately. So you have to understand you have to understand technology now in oil and gas. If you don't, you get left behind. Then finally, in oil and gas, this is 2018, great salespeople think like entrepreneurs. They think outside the box. They learn their product or their solution, but then they think of alternative ways to get it in front of people. Maybe problems that you haven't even thought of that you can solve in other parts of the industry. Great salespeople look at their job as their own book of business, as if they own the company, and that's a good thing. The salespeople out there that think of themselves as entrepreneurs and act like entrepreneurs pull way ahead of everybody else. So I know we went through that very quickly. There's 10 things about why sales has changed in oil and gas. If you'd like some more information around this, if you'd like to pick my brain, if you'd like me to come speak to your sales and marketing group, hit me up with a note real quick. I'll be happy to come out and see if we can help y'all. So folks, I hope this helped. We will see you next time.